I understand all of that. That is in this experience. The legal name fraud and all of that is in this lower vibrational experience. And I'm telling you, in your power, you have the ability to create a new reality. You have the ability, you don't even have to focus on the legal name fraud or anything that has been garnered in this experience. It is in this experience. When you know your power, you don't have to regurgitate an experience that you no longer want to experience, because you understand that the universe responds to you. The universe responds to you. But see, the thing of it is, though, truth, you got the universe responding to you, that this straw man shit, we already know what they did. We already know about the birth certificates. We already know that is a part of this experience. So now that you've become aware of it, I don't have to be in victim consciousness anymore, because I understand that this was a part of this experience. And if I want to garner a new experience, I create a different reality in my mind and my ability to create a different reality, because I am the power. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. Well, if you feel that way, then you are entitled to how you feel. But over here in my little world, I am above this experience. I'm ascending above this experience because I no longer want to experience this experience. Okay. All right. So with that being said, y'all, because I don't want to have a distraction from the energy. I went on ahead and removed him from out of the live. I'm very transparent about it, because I see where he's at, and he's okay to be there, because everybody has their viewpoint. And when I say that I'm above this experience, meaning is that I no longer want to have this experience anymore, because I realize that I'm just done with it. So I'm moving on to a different level of experience, right? Oh, gratitude. Gratitude. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? I do feel bad that I had to do that, but I see where he's at, and everybody has the right. Everybody has their fight. Everybody has their fight. And I'm not taking it away. And he's so passionate about, what he feels and everything. And I get that. I get it and I understand it. But at the same rate is that, you're here. It's what are you here for in this life? Are you here to garner a different experience, or are you telling me that you want to stay in the same one? And all I'm saying is I don't want to stay in the same experience that you're in, because I understand what that experience garnered. The very thing that he has a problem with that has put him in that space, right? He's telling the universe, believe it or not, this is an example of you telling the universe that you want to have the same experience. I try not to talk about it because I don't want to have that same experience, because I understand the responsibility to me is to respond in a way that the universe is going to respond to me, because I understand now the universe sees me as truth. So whatever I put out there, that's what the universe is going to respond. The universe sees me as truth. The universe knows me as the truth, right? So it's going to respond. Yes, the grossly manipulated aspect of what we were experiencing in this experience garnered us to have that experience, because the truth of us responded to the universe to say, okay, the universe says, you're saying to the universe, you want to have this experience by our actions, what we spiritually invest in, and all of these different things. And the universe don't know that this thing been deceived and all this other kind of stuff. The universe is responding to our energetic value because it sees us as the truth. It sees us as the truth, right? So now I'm being responsible with my truth, right? The very thing that I don't want to exist, I don't want to experience, I'm not going to constantly go into it, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to constantly give energy to something that I don't want to experience. I'm not doing that. So, I for the sake of my lives and everything, I talk about it. Yes, I do talk about it so that people can get the gist of where I'm coming from. But everybody also, once again, and I'm going to constantly reiterate, everybody has their own experience. They have their own ability to create their own reality within wherever energetic value that they reside in. So I'm not here to try to take that away from anyone. And I get where he's at. But to me, he moves in victim consciousness. because you're still blaming for something. You're still blaming an experience for something that you are responsible for at a soul level. See, this is the thing. We have to take responsibility that we're responsible for this experience at a soul level, at a soul level, not at this, at a soul level, right? That changes the game, family. That changes the game. That puts you in a whole nother paradigm, sense of understanding. So I'm not going to give, I know for me, for my, and hopefully, you know, this energy emits, I no longer want to experience that. Responsibility, accountability, discernment, authenticity, integrity. High frequency, Capri, baby. Yes. Yes. There we go, mama. Yes. There we go. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes, baby. Yes. That's what I'm on. I'm not, yes. Let me, hey, I gotta pin this. Yes. That's what we're on here. You know, that's what I'm on. And us, if you know, and I hope the way that I break it down, you know, because you know me, I want to break it down where people can get it, because I understand that a lot of times when we, you know, we talk, when we get into these high level conversations and stuff like that, everybody want to speak in a manner to which that, you know, that they're high level. No, it ain't about that. It's about all of us being able to understand, right? I see her. Yes. Yeah. And that the soul is experiencing that hurt, right? That the soul has been in a state of, okay, look at it this way. The soul is in a state of perfection, right? The soul is in a state of perfection. So it wants to feel what imperfection feels like, thus these experiences that we're having right now. Because the soul is always in a state of perfection, right? It's always in a state of perfection. So if we understand that the soul is always in a state of perfection, right? And it came here to have an imperfected experience, then you now know the whole entire time you've been responsible for this entire state of being. This is why it is important for us to know ourselves, know thyself. And I know people don't really talk the way I'm talking. I know, because you know why I know nobody don't talk like me? Because this is my truth that I'm just sharing with y'all, right? This is my truth that I'm just choosing to share with you guys in transparency, right? The perfect soul wanted to have an imperfected experience. So the soul, the truth of the soul in this experience, the universe is going to respond. The universe is going to respond to the truth of you at a soul level. You are perfect. Your soul is perfect. Your soul is perfect to have an imperfect experience. It wanted to have an imperfect experience. The all-knowing, the perfection of the all-knowing, which garners back to the perfection of the all-knowing, wanted to have an imperfect experience. And in order for that to take place, it garnered hierarchies of energies, right? So that the experience can have many variations of experiences. We have physical warriors operating in truth, and we have spiritual warriors operating in truth. The yin and the yang. This experience is physical and spiritual. So finding that balance. Absolutely. That is very true. And the young man that was here, what I call truth, and even the Moors, right? Even the Moors are what I call physical truth. I'm more of spiritual truth. I move along more in alignment of spiritual truth. And I think that's a danger for this plane, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because spiritual truth is very, very powerful. I don't move into the hierarchies of the orishas and stuff like that. I don't move into that space. It's not necessary for me. So you won't hear me talk about Ocean and all of this other kind of stuff, because I think there's a knowing within in my space that knows the energetic value where that energetically resides. You know what I'm saying? So I don't speak on that, right? But you know, and not to say that it doesn't have any relevancy. This is why I said the hierarchy of energy. The hierarchy of energy is comprised of all levels of the energies. All levels of the energies is what created this plane. Thus why there are many different facets and abilities of species that can reside on it energetically, that can reside on this plane. It is about the oneness of it. It's about the oneness of us, not the separation. The separation, the illusion of separation is just that. It's an experience. So if you still on the separation train, that's your soul wanting to experience the illusion of separation. Because the soul knows that when it's all said and done, it's about the oneness. It's the oneness. The oneness, the truth doesn't need to fit in. It's always intact. It is the perfect aspect of being. These experiences are what we might call the imperfect aspect of being, right? These experiences, so now I had to move into the space to even look at the fallen different, because the fallen, experiencing the fallen and the fallen frequencies is just that. It's an experience. A part of the oneness. Because it's still a part of the oneness. So as long as they can keep us in this reality, I now know that the soul wants to have this experience. I now know that. I now know that the soul, because the soul is the ace boon cool and the whole is the trump, right? It's a soul that wants to have it. It's for the when the soul is ready to garner a different experience, then that is what will happen. And that's just how I see it, right? The perfection of your soul wanted to experience the opposition of its being, the imperfection, if that makes any sense. And I'm only saying it so that people can get the gist of what, you know, how it looks in a sense, right? I'm just trying to find different ways of expressing it so that people can make the connectional value. But once again, this is my perspective, okay? So I'm not in victim consciousness. I'm no longer in victim consciousness. That I choose not to reside there, because I understand that's where a lot of things, it's a stagnant energy. You can be in victim consciousness. There's nothing. See, this is the thing. This space that I'm in, I get it now. There's nothing wrong with being in victim consciousness. It's just going to stagnate your ascension. It's a stagnated energy. It's a stagnated energetic field